start off on what Peter said. He had mentioned merit pay in his plan, in his constructive. That was not factored into his plan. The plan, which was very vague, encountered evaluations and student evaluations, and he mentioned how they would send them to teacher training. And because there was no explanation of this training and how it differed from the current system, because teachers are required to go to training that are already teachers, they have to go to training in place, he's suggesting the status quo. He didn't explain his plan any more than that, other than they'll go to teacher training, and they already do go to teacher training. So then he mentioned the PISA 19th ranking. One, that's factoring in the high poverty rate, so it doesn't really affect it, because if you take out these high poverty schools, which consist of a lot of America's education, then you see that we're actually not doing that bad. And if we want to improve education, we need to focus more money onto the schools itself, general funding. Instead, he's trying to improve teaching by placing a system that's already in place. He suggested both teacher training, again, that's already in place, and he suggested teacher internships, which are already in place. He also suggested student evaluation, which, though not in place, would not significantly affect, because student evaluations would always be taken with a grain of salt, because you cannot expect a class of students with such a high conflict of interest to effectively evaluate their teachers. Then he mentioned how we spend the most on funding, and clearly that's not enough. Even if we spend the most, we need to be spending more, because we can't put the students last. We can't say, well, we spend the most, so we can't put any more money into the budget. So whatever it takes, we need to do. Then moving back to major issues of the debate. Essentially, we're looking at how do we improve education. And the affirmative's argument is that they blame the failure of education on teachers. And they suggest improving teachers by essentially providing a plan that already happens. It's really hard to improve teachers in areas where teachers are already very excellent, in areas that have a lot of funding. And it's very hard to improve teachers in schools that don't have a lot of funding, like these high poverty school areas. So if we want to improve education, we need to attack the general problem first and increase funding. Thank you. I urge a Neg ballot.